All right, guys, we're fixing to head out. We're just gonna start walking, learning, kind of up in Jimmy's neck of the woods here. Big timber behind us. Some of the biggest timber on this whole farm is gonna lay back this way. And I always like looking at those big pieces of timber where deer can come from and where they can live. And this is it, I believe. There's gonna be a big sanctuary back here. So hopefully we get into this, see what the terrain offers. But we're gonna have the ability to put in some standing corn, leave some standing corn instead of taking it, some food plots. You know, Jimmy and I just putting our brains together and just kind of design some of this. We're gonna have that ability. And it all starts right now. It isn't deer season, it's right now. And I know you've been managing some farms for a while, and we're gonna make this the best we can for sure. It's March 27th in Iowa. This is the time of year that you can just walk your woods and learn so much. There's a scrape right here. We've seen several scrapes where, you know, you'll just find every one of those scrapes this time of year. We're on this trail right here, and the biggest thing I want to show you is this terrain. If you'll just take off walking your property, you'll end up walking right where the deer are. You're lazy, you're not gonna go down in big ditches. And the same thing with these deer. This ditch goes all the way down, and it just funnels these deer right around. And so this is a perfect area to hang a set 30 yards off this way, play a wind back that way. So anyway, this is the kind of stuff you're looking for, and that you got to make sure and journal for your properties, because these are places that pinch those big deer down and you kill them. I mean, this is just what it's all about. The only time I want to be out on my farms and walk every inch of it, a place that I want to grow big deer, is this time of year. Now, this time of year, I don't care if I step on him, get him out of his bed. That's what I like. You're coming out, you're walking every one of his trails, you're finding his beds. When you find that bed, see what he likes about it, see how he's getting in and out. And this is the one time of year that I'll do it, about a month right here, where you just walk it and just get after it, learn all you can, learn where those sanctuaries are. Once you learn that and get out, one time a year walk it, and that's it. Come right down the middle of it with a strip of corn. Yeah. So we get a strip of corn, say, from right here and just even 20 yards. And what that does, it creates an edge here where they want to walk. The other thing is for a blind.
Yeah.
So you could put a blind in it, just enough to put a blind in and brush it in if we had to right here. All right, guys, we are fixing to head to Iowa, hunting with Jimmy Kent, a good friend of mine. We're setting it up. We've already been there once, but we're going back right now to hang a few more stands, check on the food plots, put up the covert wireless cameras. It's been 108, 109 degrees here. We're gonna roll into probably 94-degree weather up there, work the next 3 or 4 days and see what we can get done. But I love this part of it, playing that game, boys. Right here, I got a killing plot up here that we designed where we'll have a game winner blind in. In this spot right here, you can't look hardly anywhere and not see all these big old grubs. So I really think we're gonna play this with a north wind. I believe if we find a big one here now, there was rubs and scrapes all along here. I really, really like this area. I'm gonna place the camera northeast, should take some really pretty pictures. Gonna put a wireless here. Oh. It's the hardest part right here. It's always fun hunting. It's hard to leave girls. It's the hardest part.
Love you, Daddy.
One thing is left you and go get SQWINCHER.
What's his name?
SQWINCHER bucks what I'm after.
Daddy.
Love you.
Love you. Bye. Bye. Love you,
We'll be there in 10 hours. Love ya. It's chilly. Feels like deer killing weather.
Guys, we just got here. Got our stuff unloaded up there, and I'm slipping in. First thing I'm doing is put this game winter blind. I left standing corn up here in the summer to put in this blind, so it's for that. And that big buck that I want to shoot's been on this food plot, so let's ease in there. Put in a game winter blind right here. Rushed it in. Deer been thinking we got a food plot back there, and they've been running this edge. This is where a big deer is. Maybe we'll get lucky.
Pulled a camera up here where I've been, actually where the SQWINCHER buck's been, so. Right here this morning, November 5th, we shall see. Looks like they're moving around good. Man, I love this time of year. You just never know what can happen. You know, you're all excited, but you get here and it's not easy. You get in a dogfight right off the bat. So that can definitely happen.
November 5th, we're in a good spot. We're in a blind. It's raining. And that's one reason I chose to come this blind is I knew that it's going to rain like the next 3 hours. So we'll get wet, and we're in a really, really good spot right here. So we got standing corn. We got cut corn. And it's November 5th. It's time to be in the woods. Right down that fence. Deer coming up. That looks like a buck. Our buck's coming up. They're young deer. Good looking deer though. Like a 9-point. Stickers, man, he's gonna be a stud. Well, guys, we're just finishing up tonight. Not a lot of action, but it's rainy, nasty, low pressure. Tomorrow's going to bring a bunch of wind, going to push this out, bring in some cold air with high pressure. It's going to get real good. Now tomorrow, I'm not sure. It's going to be about 20-mile-an-hour wind. I don't know how deer will move. Nevertheless, we're going to be in the woods, so we're going to try to sneak out of here. Guys, November 6th, misty conditions. Setting over a cut cornfield, really had a good access in. We're gonna do some calling this morning in a tree right here in Iowa. We got cold weather coming, deer should be on their feet, big buck should be out looking for a doe. Kind of where we're at. it stands. We're back in here in what we call the money hole. It's what we named it this summer. It just feels like you're back here in a hole full of money, full of big bucks is what we. So we're looking for a couple different bucks is what we're looking for. And any other bucket shows up it's big and old. I think we'll see some deer. Hopefully we see the right deer. And hopefully we have the right deer close enough. And hopefully we can see him coming so we can get the right window open. Cow right here. Well, we got a little practice and shot us a coyote. Pretty sucker right here in the snow. And the landowner is going to be tickled to death. He told me, he said, Jeff, he told me I could deer hunt, but he told me to shoot every coyote I could. So, there's one. Right here. Okay, there's a good buck. In the very back, I think it's that narrow buck. That's a mature buck. He's got a big dagger coming out of his head. There's no telling how old that deer is. Looks like he got bad hips. What a cool deer. I bet he ain't 8 inches wide. But he's a dandy. He's got a big old dagger coming out of his head. Makes an X with his... It's really cool. We just need SQWINCHER Buck to step out. Cow spooked. Where's the cow? I don't like it that we couldn't have killed that buck. Deer coming up. That looks like a buck.
Well, guys, we were blessed. We didn't kill, but what an encounter. And it just goes to show you it can change in a blink of an eye. It was one of them deer that if it was going to happen and be perfect, I was going to shoot him and be proud of him. But if it didn't, I was going to continue my quest after SQWINCHER. So you see how it turned out. But nevertheless, I was just thinking about it, walking out, me and Hunter, and just, you know, it's cold, it's windy. It's fall, and that's what we as hunters live for.
It's cold. It's a good morning northeast wind. Just hoping a doe will drag a buck out here. A buck comes through looking for a doe. We're in Iowa on a farm that we set up back in the summer. I came expecting nothing. Hunter touched my leg. I look up and I see him. He's at 40 yards. Time I get my bow, he's at 50, walking away. I went to move my side, just didn't have time.
Well, guys, we are gonna leave Iowa. We're gonna tuck our tail and go home. We got whipped. With that came 2 opportunities that you've seen by now, and didn't capitalize on the buck I was after, and then just wasn't in kill mode. You know, what I was sitting there tonight, you want to stay so bad and you want to get it done, but kind of what God was telling me is, you know, when is enough, Jeff? When is it time to go home and see the girls? I mean, if I shoot one here, then I just want to go shoot one somewhere else. And so I just kind of got thinking about that, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go see my family. I just can't wait to see those 3 girls. They mean more to me than any deer does.